1 month ago, I was given feedback. In that feedback, they discussed that I had specific instances with a teammate and social media, as well as one time I was 5 minutes late to a meeting. The email after summarized the call and mentioned that I can work on being a more open-minded individual and a better teammate. But again, 6 months later. In this past month, we've only had 3 group Zoom calls, each about an hour each. So 3 hours in the past month, my team has been able to observe me. Just this week, I was told I will not be given an opportunity to work at Nike at the end of this month after this program for Serena Williams is done, based on my inability to work on a team. But again, the feedback was just given to me, and I've only had 3 hours of interaction to show that I could flip what you have to say about me. There was no time, no effort given to allow me to become a better teammate. There was no time put in to care to retain me. But Nike says they're all about diversity and inclusion, right? You're all about retaining people of color, right? So why wouldn't you have like programs put into place to make me a better teammate if that's what you're going to say is not going to keep me on the team? They said my portfolio was amazing. They said it had nothing to do with the business. I know it doesn't, because my personal team outside of the Serena Design Crew is down 2 designers, so they needed the help. So the only thing that's keeping me from this job is saying that I'm not a good teammate. Something that's teachable, that no one tried to teach me, is the one thing keeping me from making it. Keeping me, well, let me not say that, because I'm going to make it regardless. But that's the one thing keeping me from going towards learning more at Nike and inspiring other people. I'm upset because the grace and care given to my white counterparts are not given to me. I spoke with a white young man here at Nike, and he told me that when he is written up, he is guided thoroughly and almost has a wing of protection over him. I overheard him speaking to the media, something that we're not supposed to do, and he was able to give his name. And when they said, "Why do you feel comfortable giving your name?" his answer was, "Well, I'm a white guy." Meanwhile, I'm concerned. I'm scared to tell everyone what I'm going through because I'm a Black woman. I'm already looked at as angry. I'm already looked at as confrontational. I'm fully aware of my personality. I'm fully aware that I have sass. But if no one gives me feedback and tells me how to be a better teammate, how do you expect me to improve? The diversity inclusion program in Nike, an integral part of it is the professional development. No one professionally developed me. No one tried to help me, even with the recognition that this was my first corporate job. I am only 26 years old. Another leader in the program who was recently let go, she's been at Nike for 20 plus years. She is a white woman. She is a very, very powerful person, and she is also very bold. I saw myself in her, with her boldness and her ability to just say things how it is. She let us know that there's been multiple times that she's kind of, bumped heads with people. But again, she's been at Nike for 20 plus years. Why is that? She's given more grace. They will give her the guidance. They will talk to her. She gets more understanding. However, me, I'm not given that understanding. You're not understanding that I'm a 26-year-old Black woman from the East Coast who was brought to the West Coast in the middle of COVID, in the middle of Coast's social justice movements. There's no understanding there for me. No one will take that into consideration why I may not be showing up as my best self. No one took into consideration that the only interaction you've had with me is through Zoom. You haven't seen me in person. I may not get along with the 10 people I work with that you see every day, but you don't get to see me work with my other teammates that love me. You don't get to see that because we're on Zoom. But none of that was taken into consideration when offering me a job. Well, not offering me a job. I was set up to fail from the beginning. Everything done within Nike is passive, aggressive, and vague. They're actually known for that, and a lot of the employees say that. If Nike is actually hoping to be more diverse, they have to change their ways of interacting with new hires and create a plan of action to guide us. They can't just say they want to keep people in Portland and then pretend to not see the problems. I want to also add that there are many employees that feel the same as me. Many people are afraid to be confrontational, as I've been labeled by many, afraid to make a difference out of fear of retaliation. I'm aware of my faults, but I'm also aware that I wasn't guided properly, and this is far too common amongst employees of color. There are people that have been at Nike for years that won't get promotions, can't move up due to the lack of leadership and development. I've been on calls with young men crying about how tired they are for fighting for themselves. Me speaking up against these injustices is not because I'm against Nike. Let me be clear about that. It's because I know they can do better and they have the opportunity to change the world. And because I want my future children to be able to show up to work as their authentic selves, knowing that they will be guided if they mess up, not made to feel ashamed or inadequate. Thank you all for listening. I'm fully aware of the repercussions that may come out of me being up here. I have 1 month left of this program. I don't know if they're going to quickly kick me out of it because of this. Who knows? But I felt like I need to speak up for all the employees who can't speak up. Thank you.
That's a powerful sister. Give it up for the sister one more time. At the end, she said she don't even know if I'm gonna have her position that she came out here for. But there is a moment in here. See, out of the three cats, I'm the oldest one on the stage. So I speak to those of you who I know benefit from the white privilege. You know you benefit from it. You know, I get up here, this mic is kind of powerful, so I'm aware of that. And I'm not trying to push our allies away. We have to have some difficult, hard conversations with some people that don't look like us. White women and black women need to have some hard, difficult conversations right there. There's too many of y'all in the corporate workplaces, too many of y'all white women in the corporate workplace that you don't laugh, but you already know. That's a hard conversation to have. You have to look your own self in the mirror right now. And I'm not going to scream at you about it because I have to have my own conversations with some people that don't look like me, where I can look back and I can see where my own personal bias and my own experience has made me miss opportunities because I came off a certain way. So I had to have a conversation with myself. You know, but this is, when I talk about the insidious nature of the racism, of the oppression, of the abuse, when we talk about the insidiousness of it, it doesn't stop with the badge. I know y'all can, y'all know it. I know it. Nike's big out here. I know it. It's hard to clap against Nike. Woo! They put a lot of money in the town. I buy them all the time. I'm not mad. What we are asking Nike to do and what we are asking other corporations who mean well is to stop taking advice from your own people, talking about that's the Office of Equity Inclusion, and you hired them. Do you not see the correlation between that system? If I am the king and I want to keep my system a certain way, I may hire my nephew to be the Office of Equity Inclusion because, you know, he gets along with black people pretty good. He seems pretty hip. But at the end of the day, he's still going to do my bidding. That's the insidious nature of it. That's the insidious nature of it. And it requires it requires not only your participation here, but your demonstration where it counts. Where it counts, people. It just doesn't happen downtown. Racism just doesn't happen downtown. We got our brothers and sisters here. I don't know where they left. Where the veterans at? Is the veterans still in the house? Did they leave? We got the native veterans in the house. We got one. Where the veterans at? We got some veterans here, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the vets. You know, shout out to the vets. A lot of people laid down their lives for a lot of different reasons. You know, but the ultimate sacrifice is to stand up for the rights of others. And that's what it's about. The ultimate sacrifice is to stand up for the rights of others, because you know what? It requires your time. And you value what you spend your time and your money on. John Lewis. Yeah, shout out John Lewis. Come on. A true American soldier. So while we got voices of anger, voices of compassion, voices of a whole bunch of stuff, because none of us is going to be able to sum up the Black experience for everybody. And then you wonder, what does Black Lives Matter mean? What does it really mean? And what I say is this: that feeling in your heart, whatever it is that caused you to be down here, you don't know how. But we know it's a deep calling. And that's what Black Lives Matter means. That's what it means. That's what it means. And we got to change some things systemically. But on a human level, on a human to human level, you know, we're going to have to figure it out in our hearts and our minds. So with that, let y'all go.
Anybody feel uncomfortable? I mean, be honest. Anybody feel uncomfortable out there? It's okay. Anybody feel uncomfortable? I hear a little bit. That's a good thing. It's a good thing to be uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. I've been uncomfortable for a long time. Matter of fact, I was uncomfortable before I knew what uncomfortable meant. It's a good thing to be uncomfortable, because that means you're moving into something that's unknown. That means you're moving towards something greater than yourself, something that you can't explain. So it's okay to be uncomfortable. I'm going to speak more about Nike, because I know that's the uncomfortable thing of the night. It ain't the feds. It ain't Donald Trump. It ain't the PPD. It's when we said Nike. I went there because I knew that it was a place that we could fix or help fix and be part of the solution and help some Black lives immediately. And yes, I needed the help of everybody. But I want to tell you that we're really close to coming to a conclusion there. We're really close to fixing the issue, and it will be done. It will be done. So don't feel uncomfortable anymore, because that uncomfortable feeling is that power being used in the right way. We didn't use that power to go knock down a building. We use that power to build one to make it higher. We did not go to Nike to make it weak. We went to Nike to make it stronger than it ever been. So don't feel uncomfortable. Celebrate. I just want y'all to know that. So, with that being said, we're going to get back to the normal, the usual. And that's using our powers. So, I'd like to know if y'all feel like y'all got some power left. You sure you got some power left, but then we use it up on these guys? You sure? Okay, I'm gonna believe you on that one. Cause you know, a lot of us down here, one of the main chances was whose streets, right? Whose streets are these? And when you say it's our streets, that means you don't have to ask to walk on it. You don't have to ask to lay on it. You don't have to ask for anything. We can go in and say clean the room, because this is our streets. We can do whatever we want on these streets because they are ours. So I'm going to ask you, and now it's day 60 something. I think we all get it that these are our streets. So let me ask you once: whose streets? Whose streets? Whose streets? Whose streets? Say his name. Say his name. Say her name. Say her name. Whose streets? Whose streets? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I got power. I got power. I got power. We got power. We got power. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Yeah. Yeah. Don't sound like we going anywhere. Anywhere soon. I'm very proud of everybody out here. I would say it a little different, but my voice is a little gone. But it's okay. Like I said, my voice is gone, but it'll come back just like you did. And it'll come back just like you did, if you didn't catch that. But like I said, I'm just happy. I'm happy to be a part of this movement. I'm happy to be up here every single night. You make me stronger. And we're not going to stop. We're going to keep doing things that matter.
Let's go ahead and make some noise. John Lewis. 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 And his memory won't be forgotten. His memory won't be forgotten. Y'all want to know why? Because it's a new set of John Lewis's in Portland, Oregon. And this new set of John Lewis's is going to ring through the whole United States. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. There's a new set of John Lewis's right here in front of you. And we gonna keep civil rights right. We gonna make sure that they don't violate our constitutional rights. We gonna make sure our constitutional rights are not breached ever again. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. There's a new set of John Lewises up here in front of you. And we gonna make sure we stand on each and every one of American citizens' constitutional rights. John Lewis. John Lewis. And we gonna make sure every single American's civil rights are upheld. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. They thought the death of John Lewis was the end of civil rights. No. We have a new set of John Lewises right here. And we gonna make sure civil rights are upheld. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. Hell no, we won't go. 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 They asked us, how long is the protest gonna last? The protest is gonna last forever, because we gonna make sure that y'all don't violate our constitutional rights ever again. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. And we are the people. And we are the people. Who are y'all? Who are y'all? Who are y'all? We are the people. We are the people. We are the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. And his memory is going to stand forever. And we are not going to let one piece of civil rights be untold. We are not going to let one piece of civil rights not be uplifted. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. Portland, are you scared? Hell no. Portland, are you scared? Portland, are you scared? I ain't scared. I ain't scared. That's what my boy Mike be saying. I mean, I ain't scared. I ain't scared. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. And before it's all said and done, each and every one of us is going to be a John Lewis. And we are going to make sure that we protect everybody's civil rights. And we're going to make sure we protect everybody's constitutional rights. And we're going to make sure we hold the police and the federal government accountable. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. John Lewis. I love y'all.
You might be wondering what's happening to yourself. You might be wondering, where are you? I explained this to someone. This is no longer a park. This is no longer, I don't know, a justice center. This is a college now. You coming here and getting educated. You coming here and being baptized in the gag. And you walking out a new person. I've seen it with my own eyes. I witnessed it with my own body. I came here one person and went home another. That's what is happening to a lot of people that come down here and experience. This is what it's like to be Black. You get that from going through this whole process. You might start here, you end up over there and make a 360 back to here. But when you come back here, you come back something else. You come back with something to give. That's what's happening to the people that keep coming here. Do not be scared. It is a good thing that's happening. You might not get it. You might not get it. You might go home and you might do something that you never thought you would do. It's that kind of vibe that's going through here. It's that type of power. The closer you get to the power, the more it soaks in you. And the more you're able to use. You start doing things that you didn't even think you were capable of doing. You start saying things that you didn't even know you had the words to say. You start looking up in dictionaries because you said something that you don't even know where it came from. That's the type of power that's down here. That's the type of power that's flowing through the air. It's not the gas. It's power. This is a love. This is, it's hard to even explain because this had never been done. It's never been done like this. Portland, make some noise for yourself because this is history. When you look at the history books 30 or 40 years from now, it's going to have a picture of all of us. It's not going to have one person because the power is in the people. They're going to do an aerial view and that's going to be on the cover because that's where the power was. We were so close together, we looked like one big old giant. That's where the power is. You have to understand that. That's why I asked you to come closer because I can see. I can see what's happening when we close. I can see what's going to happen when we close. When we divide, I can see the past. I can see what hurt us and what kept us down. It scares me to see you apart. I do not want to see that ever again. It scares me. Yes, COVID says we need to be 6 feet apart, but that scares me because it looks like a divide. The power is there. The power is here. I hear no coughs. I see nobody looking sick, and we've been like this for 60 days. This should be ground zero for COVID. COVID should be running rapid right here, but some reason it's not. That got to tell you something. That has to tell you something. I know it gets quiet because you're thinking that what I just said is true. It's true. I'm just so proud of everybody out here. I'm so in love with everybody that I can see. So in love with everybody I can feel. If my arms is long enough, I will give everybody a hug right now. But I'm not Plastic Man. But y'all keep giving me this power, I might just become that. Guaranteed. And I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it to hug everybody that I out here. So I just like, I don't want to say thank you again, but I got to say thank you again. I got to say it. I got to say it.
All right, here to argue.
My mother never lived to see this.
Here to belittle or bully.
And I woke up feeling crazy. And I'm going to post it on my Instagram if you don't believe what I'm about to say. But I woke up feeling crazy and wondering what was that feeling that was coming on for me. And I realized I'm only days away from when she died. And the closer it gets to that day, the more and more I feel some type of energy. She's coming to stand out here with us on the 3rd. August 3rd, she will be out here with us. And something, I'm going to tell you right now, something very, very special is going to happen on August 3rd. She whispered it to me, and you can hold me to it. You can hold me to what I just said. Something very special is going to happen on August 3rd. Y'all write that down. It's only days away. Something very special here is going to happen. I wasn't supposed to be up here. For some reason, I'm up here. You wasn't supposed to be out there, but for some reason you out there. And on August 3rd, it's all gonna come to a head. Watch what I said. Portland, make some noise.
You know what? I keep thinking all the time, you know, I go home and I reflect on everything I heard, everything I said. You know, and I, like my man said, you know, I've changed the way I talk several times since I come down here. You know, my mind has been changed several times, but tonight it's about y'all, and this is what I want to end with. This is what I want to end with right now. Portland. I asked my son one time, I said, son, who's your favorite superhero? He said, Dad, I like Captain America. I said, why do you like Captain America? And he began to describe all the attributes, all the selflessness that his superhero displayed. What I'm trying to tell y'all tonight is that's a movie, but I'm looking at real life superheroes right now. Give yourself a hand. No, for real. That's not just no cap. I'm looking at real life superheroes. Who else? Who else? Who else but a superhero says, I'm going to stand for somebody else? Who else but a superhero does that? So that's all I had. You know what? There's a turn up going on for you youngsters that want to go dance on 12th and Stark right now. They got a DJ over there and they are turning it up. I was at the first one and they dancing and they celebrating tonight over there. You know why they celebrating? Because we won. We won, man. We won. We made them go back and think about it, come up with a plea bargain amongst themselves, and they worked it out. And that's the type of shit that we are going to make happen. But they think we're going to stop right there. We know that racism doesn't begin and end with the police department. Racism does not begin and end inside our prison system. Racism does not begin and end inside a lot of these institutions around here. You know, I was about to say in the education system, but I thought fast. I said, well, maybe it does begin there. I don't know. I have to think about that again. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they're gonna try to come out of this, and they're gonna try to wiggle their way out of this. We need to see the men and women that are in uniform. We need to see them come take a knee with us. We need that to happen. Do we need to see that? I know some of y'all right now ain't really telling the truth, but that's okay. Right? Because this takes real commitment. Like I felt the vibe. We can feel the vibe when we up here. We can feel the vibe of the crowd when we up here. It's just like anything else. And when he went to go to talking about Nike, y'all was like, fuck that. Well, I can't really get with that Nike. Woo. I don't know. I live out there, right? My aunt works there. I got the hookup. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know how hard it is to go to Nike store right now? Need them in my life. So we're not mad at Nike. That's not the point. That's not the point at all, you guys. We are encouraging them as a partner to say, hey, partner, you need to do a little bit more. You need to do a little bit more, partner. You're not pulling your weight right there. This is just a pull-up for Nike. This is just a pull-up for Nike. And so don't talk around it. You know, be about it and just do it, Nike. You know what I'm saying? And just do it. And that's all we're asking for. Just do it. 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 Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. You damn right he do. You damn right. We ain't playing. We ain't gonna stop. You know, we ain't gonna stop. We've been black a long time. You know what I'm saying? So we're not gonna stop. We're gonna stay on the grind. How long has injustice been going on? What? Yeah, that's a lot of numbers. Whatever just flew at me, 400, 200, 300, it's a lot of numbers. And they want us to quit in 60 days. I don't think so. Should we quit?
So it looks like this part is done for the evening. I'm gonna go offline for now. Thanks for joining.